One of the most important reasons for British survival in the war was the defeat of the German Air Force during the Battle of Britain. The Battle of Britain itself was a series of air battles between the British Royal Air Force and the German Luftwaffe that lasted throughout the summer of 1940. Hitler had planned to attack Britain following the successful invasion and defeat of France in 1940. The German army started to build up its armed forces in northern France, and the German navy began the construction of troop transport barges to carry the German army across the Channel. Hitler gave the plans for the invasion of Britain the code name Operation Sea Lion. In order for his invasion plan to work, he first needed to destroy the RAF and gain control of the skies above Britain. The German Luftwaffe would then attack shipping in the English Channel and the ports along the south coast. These attacks would be followed by bombing raids on radar stations and RAF airfields across the country.
German plan for invasion of England. Phase 1. Knock out the Royal Air Force and its bases. Get control of the air and the sea lanes across the Channel. Follow the Blitz plan that had wiped out Poland, the Low Countries, and France. Destroy communication and transport lines. Above all, get command...
Throughout July and August, the RAF lost over 551 aircraft to the German attacks. In a series of battles in the skies above Britain, wave after wave of German bombers attacked British targets. British fighters were sent up to intercept them, but the RAF soon found they were running out of men and equipment. By early September, it appeared that the Luftwaffe were gaining the upper hand as the RAF began to run out of reserve pilots and planes. However, in a dramatic and costly move, Hitler decided to change tactics in August and diverted the Luftwaffe to launch bombing raids on London. This gave the RAF breathing space and time to regroup. The Prime Minister, Winston Churchill, praised British pilots in one of his most famous speeches.
Never in the field of human conflict was so much owed by so many to so few.
By the time raids were renewed on British airfields, the RAF had managed to gain the upper hand. The RAF was successful in the Battle of Britain for several reasons. Number 1, German mistakes. Hitler made the mistake of diverting the Luftwaffe from attacks on the RAF to attacking London. Although this led to the deaths of many civilians, it did allow the RAF time to regroup. Number 2, German weaknesses. The German bombers were often not escorted by fighter planes. They quickly became easy targets for the RAF fighters. Number 3, the British had superior fighter planes. The Spitfire and Hurricane planes were faster and easier to maneuver than the German fighters. Number 4, radar. Since the mid-1930s, the British had devised an early warning system using radar, which meant they knew when and where the Germans would attack. RAF fighter planes were in the air and ready when the German bombers and fighters appeared. Although the Battle of Britain had been won, British civilians now faced the threat of mass German air attacks. These bombing raids became known as the Blitz and would eventually lead to the deaths of thousands of British civilians.